the bosses of some of Canada's biggest companies are about to take extreme action. To stay ahead of the game, they're going undercover in their own organizations. Calgary is the fastest growing city in Canada, but its strained public transport system is buckling under the pressure. With 3,000 staff, it's one of the city's largest employers. They have 100 million passengers a year, and the demand on the system is rising.
I've been in this position about a year. It has been a roller coaster ride, I would say. Keeping up with growth is a challenge for us. Older equipment, older buses, we don't have enough garage space. If we don't run efficiently, it means people don't get where they're going. They don't get to that job interview, that school exam, they don't get to work on time, and that has a huge impact on their lives.
Doug Morgan and his team have a big job ahead of them, nothing less than the transformation of how we do transit in the city. So Doug, you know how important I think transit is. And you know, we spent a long time over the last couple of years talking to passengers in the system, but we missed something. The piece that I want to know more about is what our colleagues who work in transit think, especially the people on the front line. So, I would like you to go work undercover as a frontline transit employee. You're pretty recognizable, so you'll have to wear a disguise. Okay. This is finally my excuse to get you to shave off the ridiculous facial hair and go and work in various jobs on the front lines to really get a sense of what our colleagues are thinking. How do they think we can improve the system? And then come back and report to the senior management team. Are you up for it?
I think I'm up for it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm off. As I move up, it gets harder to remain connected to the people at the front line. I'm kind of excited about seeing that unfiltered view of our operation. I started my university career in 1987 with the University of Calgary. I struggled, and I like to say that that's how I got to where I am, because I struggled all the way through. I came to Calgary Transit in 2006. Never really thought about transit until I got here, and it took about 6 months before I cut the bug. We're going to go to the field, right? My family is instrumental in making sure I don't work 20 hours a day. When I go and look in the eyes of my daughters, I realize what's important.
Pedal, 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 pedal!
So they like that Dad worked for transit, but when you put that in perspective and realize, you know, it's about the loose tooth, it's about riding your bike, that's what I'll remember. I think it's a critical time for us because we're kind of at a turning point. Calgarians are crying for a more urban city, and the transit system is critical towards that. We've got demands that are growing, 100 million passengers a year, expectations. We have a system that's stressed, it's aging, things are breaking down. So I want to get undercover and learn how our staff are dealing with that. I have never done anything as crazy as this. This is my whole persona here in hair. I'm giving up, so it's going to be exciting to be something different.
I am so shocked when he came home and said they had asked him to do this. I started to laugh. I couldn't help it because I just couldn't imagine him doing it.
My cover story is I'm going to become Guy Hicks. I'm looking for a job that pays a bit better than minimum wage. Bizarre. Hello, ladies.
Oh my goodness.
You look so funny.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely so shocked at how different he looks. I haven't seen your chin in like 20 years.
I know. My baby chin. Do I look good or bad? Do you want me back the other way or this way?
In all honesty, now I think he can pull this off and go undercover.
Good luck. You're gonna be great.
What's critical to me is focus on employees, what it's like to be an employee, and how it feels to be part of Calgary Transit.
Coming up, undercover boss Doug brings the assembly line to a grinding halt.
I'm having a hard time reading the dipstick.
We've only got about a 15-minute window.
And later,
I'm a transit peace officer.
Well, then peace off somewhere else.
a disturbing call from dispatch.
We have a subject who threatened that he's gonna get a gun and shoot people.
Yesterday, Doug Morgan was in charge of running Calgary's massive public transport system. But this week, he's just an average Joe.
This evil wig will be the death of me. It's like wearing a cat on my head. I'm on my way to our Spring Gardens facility. The crew process 450 buses daily. So the bottom line is I want to find out how we get those buses out on time and in front of customers at their stop. All ready?
Hi.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy. Nice to meet you. I'm a service lane attendant, and that means I clean buses, I drive buses, I fuel buses, I oil buses. Welcome to life with 450 buses. Back at the bus, watch your head. This is your dipstick.
Okay.
Pull her out, clean the end off, just give it a quick check, and you're well over. Actually, this bus has got a little too much oil in it, but we're not here to take it out.
Dipstick isn't in the right place.
The oil?
Everyone is different. I'm probably way slower than you are at this. It's hard to read those letters.
The most important thing is to do everything as quickly and efficiently as possible. Everything here is time sensitive.
This is different again.
The buses come off the road at specific time every day, and if we're not on the ball, they line up. When you have 250 buses coming through one side, it's just the air quality just it's blue.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other lovely thing.
Yeah,
it's the bus test.
dust in the face.
Let me know if the breathing thing starts bothering you. Because, like I said, we can get you a mask. The air quality in here on a good day is very much like driving down a dusty back road. On a bad day, it's masks.
Yeah.
I think we're all good. We're going to move on to the next thing. You know?
I'm certified dipstick?
Dipstick qualified, exactly. This is what we bring our buses that, quite clearly, as you'll be able to see, cannot go on the road. This is a sick bus, what we would consider a floor.
That's disgusting.
Do your best not to drag your boots through it.
Me?
Okay, I need to get some bleach.
So how often do you have a bus like this? Like every night you'll have
This one's pretty bad.
Funkiness?
Stampede week, this is the norm.
too much drinking?
It is nasty. We don't go cheap on the bleach.
Ugh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's puke here, there's vomit over there, and it's turning my stomach as we're doing this.
Oh, there was a spot we missed.
More puke. Ugh.
Yes, that's awesome. There are things we'll find on buses that we never want to see ever again. Let's take everything from the floor, just shovel that into this garbage can now. We're gonna spray the floor and spray the windows as much as you can without actually hitting the seats.
How do you not get it on the seat? The last time I cleaned up vomit, luckily it was from my own kids. I've never had to clean up adult vomit. Ugh. It wasn't a pleasant experience. It certainly turned my stomach, and I don't think I can think about lunch.
Eat. It's my favorite thing.
I know, I'm curious about. Where'd you come from? How'd you start here? Like what?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, from the time I graduated high school, my dad was trying to convince me to come here and be a bus driver.
Oh, really? Is he a bus driver?
No, he's a mechanic. His dad worked here before him.
Wow. A long
So
history.
if they start up the apprenticeship program here again, it'll be 75 years of mechanics by the time I retire.
Is that what you want to do next? Apprenticeship?
Yeah, I want to clean buses my whole life.
We have lots of people here who have family members that have worked over the years with Calgary Transit. Lorraine's another one. Great attitude. I think she'd make a great mechanic here. Back to work?
Back to work. We are at the fueling station. So you line up that little knobby thing with the top hole.
Right, this thing could be finicky.
We've only got about a 15-minute window after this rush ends. If we're all lined up, we go home late. So, you know, you don't want to mess things up.
What am I doing wrong? During the heat of the rush hour, when the buses are pulling up, there's a person in each one of those buses looking at you to hurry up.
There you go. Wow, see how fast that went?
Yeah, holy man.
That was a half hour.
So when you're not fueling buses, you must do something else. This can't be it.
Yeah, this is my life. No, I actually do volunteer work at an animal rehab center outside of Calgary. Basically, we just rehab injured wildlife.
Yeah.
I did a shift at my volunteer place this weekend, and they had bats.
Bats?
Bats.
You like bats?
Fanatic about bats.
No way.
I mean, when they chatter, it's an echolocation thing, so quite literally you can feel it right in the center of your brain.
Yeah.
It is the coolest thing ever. I am going to be the crazy bat lady. Well, thank you very much for your help, and it was very nice to meet you.
You got a tough job.
Yes.
I'm going for rest.
You can go for a nap. There's a bus right there.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Lorraine's a great employee. It was fun to work with her, and I think she's a real hard worker. I came here undercover to find out how the service line operates. We're constantly struggling with air quality in our garages. Perhaps there's an opportunity to make some adjustments to the current system to make the airflow a bit better.
Coming up, the secret snoop takes a step too far.
Grab your scrub brush, take your mop, you're splashing glass, now you're gonna have to do the glass.
Oh, now I gotta do the glass.
They are pigs.
And later, are the wheels about to come off this entire undercover operation?
Familiar, I think I've seen you before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's day 2 of Boss Doug Morgan's secret inspection of his company, Calgary Transit.
Walking around in disguise in younger clothing really feels strange. I'm used to being over 40, and it did feel a little bit like Halloween. I'm on my way to meet the labor custodian crew who look after the cleaning of our stations. Cleanliness is important to me, and it's a big issue for our customers. They perceive a clean station as a well-functioning station, so I want to find out from these guys what issues they might be facing that I can help with. Excuse me? Are you Merle?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Guy.
Hi, I've been waiting for you.
I've come to help you out.
I'll get you started on doing some stairs.
Merle is one of 3 cleaners who, in a typical shift, are responsible for cleaning 5 C train stations.
Our first job is going to be doing the stairs.
Okay.
It takes 2 hours for each set of stairs, so you really have to move. The first thing we'll do is tons of water. You'll be doing this 5 or 6 times. And we don't want to fill these buckets up too far because you have to walk down the stairs with them.
These buckets are heavy.
This is a different type of floor. A lot of times you have to scrub.
How many stairs are there total?
120.
That's a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs.
Yeah, your arms could get really tired really quickly. 2 more stairs. Whew.
I really wish they would have had some kind of other water system.
Yeah,
so
like
we're
a
not
hose or
walking
something.
up and down.
Yeah.
They really didn't think about maintenance when they designed these stations. All it would take is one tap on each side so we could hook up hoses and have continuous water. Guy, I have to get started on some more work because we're going to run behind time. Now, when you're done this, you're going to dump this water down here. So you're going to go upstairs and you have to get 2 more buckets of water.
And in between all of those operations, you run up and down the stairs about 100 times. I need more buckets. More buckets. I feel like a friggin' soggy Q-tip with this mop on my head. If I had to do much more, I don't know if I'd make it. Seeing what it's like to mop the station, it's gonna make me think about our standards when we create new stations. How do we make it easier for the maintenance staff to get their jobs done, not harder?
We'll take all the stuff up here now.
Okay, I better run up and grab the mop and bucket.
Well, no, we'll take the escalator. Let's see. The stairs?
I'll brace you.
Okay. One thing, though, you'll go back down. You forgot the bucket down there.
Oh, jeez.
That's what happens when you forget.
I will probably never leave anything at the bottom of the stairs, and I'll never ask somebody to race up the stairs when they're on the escalator side. You need anything else when I'm down here? Okay, escalator.
The smile is not as big as it was when you first met me.
That took us a long time to do one set of stairs.
One set of stairs, and there's 5 sets here. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go in there, and we have washrooms to do.
I need a full body glove. I don't want to touch anything.
They are pigs. They've urinated on the floors. They've left feces.
And this is the woman's. I thought women were better than this. It's tough for me to think that these are some of our own staff that are causing this mess for other staff to clean up. I don't want to know what this liquid is on the floor in here.
When you look around, you make sure toilet paper, paper towel.
I'm not giving them any toilet paper. They're just going to throw it on the ground. This bathroom is disgusting.
Spray, sink, mirror, wipe out.
How's that? Can you see your face?
No, you got streaks. Yeah.
I've heard stories about the bathroom, but until you've got to clean it, you don't feel it. So certainly, I'll be looking at ways to address that behavior to get people more considerate of other staff.
Let's take a break.
It's a hard job.
It's hard and it's tedious too, you know.
A question I've had, and my family's a bit concerned about taking on the night shift. How do you balance? I got 2 little kids.
That is a big problem. For my kids have grown up and have moved out of the house, so it's great for me. But when they were young, it is.
How old are your kids?
I have a girl and a boy. Yeah. I had 3 children. One passed away. She was 13.
How many years ago was that?
In 1998.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
She had heart surgery. Got staph infection, and her kidneys were failing, her liver was failing, and she just really never woke up. I kept looking at her, and like she was already dead, you know. And it got to the point where I said, stop it, no more. Just no more, she's gotta go. She's gone, so. And that was hard for a long time, but I had 2 other kids. Even though I wanted just to crawl inside the bed, never wake up again, I couldn't. You got to keep going. Yeah, it's a tough, long road. You
never forget what
you
they were like.
You never forget. Yeah, never forget.
Merle's story was tough. I do have 2 small daughters, and to hear what she went through and the decisions she had to make, heartbreaking.
I'm going to get you started on some glass.
Okay.
We can't slow the escalator down, so you're going to put 1 up and 1 down so that you're squeegeeing as you're fluffing.
Okay. So we're going to do the same thing down?
Same thing down.
This is crazy.
I know.
Pick me up if I fall down the stairs, okay?
All right. Watch your fluffy. It has to be down. Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, you won't catch
Try
it.
not to fall down the stairs here.
I know.
Okay.
Come with you. And your feet as you get off there. That's what, yeah. Well, it's not bad.
I think you're being kind. This is an eye-opening experience for me. Working with Merle, I think it's brought a lot of things to my attention. things like come get water down here to help out.
Thank you for all your help you did today.
Well, thanks for all the hints and tips. I better get out of here. I'm proud to have someone like Merle, and there's probably nothing more I would add to her attitude. Like, she's got it. It's great to work with you.
Great, okay.
All right, see ya.
Take care.
It's the end of a long night. I'm tired, I'm ready for bed. But I think it's worthwhile seeing all this work happening at the front line. It's tough living in a hotel, missing my 2 girls. When I'm through with this and get to see both of them, I'll probably give them an extra hug and think about Merle's daughter, Rochelle, and what effect that had on her.
Coming up, the boss has a tire blowout.
Boss is supposed to be making money, not just sitting here.
And later, he gets very clear instruction about what to do next.
He's off somewhere else.
The director of Calgary Transit is on his 3rd day of secret surveillance.
I haven't seen your chin in like 20 years.
And it's been full of ups.
More buckets.
More buckets.
And downs.
Go back down. You forgot the bucket down there.
Need anything else when I'm down here? I'm feeling quite unbalanced with the time of day. I don't know what time it is most of the time, whether I should eat dinner or breakfast. It's very unnerving. I'm off to the tire shop today. The tire shop is at the heart of our operation. If just one of these buses breaks down, we can leave thousands of passengers waiting by the curb for the next one. Plus, we're rapidly expanding service. You want to find out what the impact on these frontline workers are of that expansion? Joey?
Yeah,
I'm Guy.
nice to meet you.
You're Joey.
That's right. Okay.
Faulty equipment is blamed for 30% of all delays in the bus schedule. Joey is responsible for repairing and replacing tires for the city's 800 buses.
Let me just grab a extra pair of gloves here.
I'm a new guy. I've got bright white
There
gloves.
you go.
We gotta get them dirty.
Oh, it'll get dirty as soon as we start working on. You look familiar. I think I've seen you before.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a job with transit. I think he believed me, but it kind of got quiet after I gave my answer, so I think he suspects.
Right. Okay. Then we'll start assessing which tire needs to be replaced or needs to be fixed. See, this one's got a lot of tread.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't have any tread.
Not so much.
So this one here needs to be replaced. There you go. Just like the NASCAR.
You want to do it?
Sure. There you go.
Oh, that thing's pretty beefy.
Okay, you're just gonna give yourself a...
That's hard on the arms.
Get it up. Okay?
Get it up?
Yeah. The bus is supposed to be making money, not just sitting here. There you go.
Huh.
Remember 10.
10, my arms are sore after 2.
There you go.
Holy moly.
Next step, we use a jack to take the
Oh, there,
tire
one
off.
more nut.
You want to take the inner tire, sir?
Sure, let's try it.
Some of the equipment here are older or not updated. I just did it.
Yeah.
Harder. There you go.
Hard, hard.
That's not light. You don't have to lift these above your head, do you?
Oh, no. Each tire's weight is 60 to 70 pounds. Okay, turn it around.
Moving tires is no easy task. On my little car, it's easy. When I come in, I didn't realize how heavy they were. That's a lot of work for one tire.
Oh, yeah. Imagine all 4 of them.
There we go. Oh, jeez.
There.
Okay, I'm tired.
A person needs to work in the tire shop has to be in good condition. He's not physically fit.
So how many times do you do that in a day?
Sometimes 12, 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is the number of buses that you look after growing?
In the last couple of years, I've seen it from 200. Now it's double.
Really?
That's
Holy.
right. Our fleet are growing,
Yeah.
but not enough manpower.
You get the same number of flats per bus and
That's
more
right.
buses
Yeah,
means
that's correct.
more work for you.
That's right. Yeah.
We probably have 1,600 tires within this facility plus all the other vehicles, yet there's only 2 of them. But I think he's got some real challenges here, so it's important for me to have a look at that. How old are your kids?
21 and 18.
So are they in university then, or they're
My
working?
son is in his 2nd year neurosurgeon.
Really?
That's what he wants to
Holy.
be. Yeah.
You better keep working to pay for that
Well,
degree.
that's how I figure it out.
That's a lot of tires.
It is. And I told him, I said, the only thing I can give it to you guys is school or, support to you guys, When I came here in Canada, I was willing to go back to school, but I never had any chances.
Where did you come from?
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah.
So what made you leave?
To get a better
Quality of life?
That's right, yeah.
And it worked from the
It
sounds
is,
of it.
yeah.
When you have a son that's going to be a neurosurgeon.
That's right, yeah.
Having a son that's in medical school, a daughter that's 20 and going through school as well, that's one of the big things for me, is that regular guys can do regular work and do great things with their family.
Bring this up here.
Not by hand.
No, not by hand. We're gonna need another person to drive the forklift to help us out.
Okay.
That's why it takes 3 guys to
hold it.
To hold it and to lift it up. Normally we have 3. Now 1 guy got hurt, so there's only 2 of us. We'll go on. I tried to get a relief person. They couldn't give us any other hand.
So then to take them off, you do the same thing, roll them on the floor?
Just push it back and let it swing. You don't want to get run over either, right?
That would
there you
hurt
go.
a foot. Yeah. So you roll it up?
Yeah. Just don't let it drop.
Oh, I can't believe I let that tire roll away on me. It's a workout.
It is hard work, isn't it?
You could get backache doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go home.
Nice meeting you. He did not too bad for a first day, but he needs to improve his fitness.
I see a guy like Joey at work, it's really his enthusiasm for the job. We're gonna have to look at how we staff the tire shop. I saw 2 people that were doing a stellar job, and how do I support them as we go forward to make sure they can do a good job. I'm sweaty, I'm dirty, my arms hurt. Put a fork in me, I'm done. Get back!
Coming up, the boss is under further physical assault.
Under arrest, get back!
That was a fail.
And later, a shocking surprise when the workers he's met are called into head office.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Doug Morgan is about to embark on his final shift.
It looks just as bad today as it did yesterday.
He'll be joining the peace officers. Peace officers have reduced crime across all of Calgary Transit and continue to improve the safety of the system. Fare dodging costs Calgary Transit over $2 million a year, and it's their job to nab offenders.
What time does that say on it?
To become a peace officer, Doug has to pass a vigorous training course.
Hi there. Are you Melissa?
Yes.
Hi there, I'm Guy.
Hi, nice to meet you. So as a peace officer at Calgary Transit, we have full arrest authorities. We can arrest for criminal code offenses. We can arrest for warrants.
Peace officers have the most dangerous job across all of Calgary Transit. They face verbal and physical abuse on a daily basis, so it's crucial that they are able to defend themselves.
So this is Sean. He's going to be helping us with training today.
Hi, Guy. Nice to meet you. Never used handcuffs before. Yeah, but I've never been in them.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to be dealing with a cooperative subject. You have to know how to deal with the subject and how to arrest, make a proper arrest. Put your hands behind your back, palms up, thumbs up. Push the bar.
Okay.
Okay. Push your hand in and apply the cuffs at the same time. Okay. Yep, and then bring under. Okay. If you can't reach him, then you tell him to bring his hand over. This goes like this. So that's a cooperative subject.
I could barely do it when he was cooperative.
When you're doing a baton strike, you're going to be doing loud verbals. You're going to be keeping your arm up to protect yourself in case he strikes back. Yell at me.
You're under arrest.
Okay, and you're going to tell me to get back.
You're under arrest. Get back. I looked down. I shouldn't have looked down. Keep your eyes up.
Keep your eyes up. His baton techniques are a little bit weak.
You're under arrest. Get back.
All right, so that was only a couple baton strikes.
A lot to learn.
A lot to learn. You got a lot to learn, a lot of practicing to do, okay?
You're under arrest. Get back. You're under arrest. Get back. You're under arrest. Get back.
He's not doing so well in the training process. Right now, we're going to run through what is called the 20-meter shell run.
That sounds scary.
So once I push play, there's going to be beeps. So you're going to be running, and then when that beep goes, you want to be past this line.
Okay.
And then you're going to turn around, and you're going to run again right away.
Right away.
Right away. And you need to make it to level 7. So get into position.
Okay.
Start level 1115.
Okay.
Missed that one.
You want to go past the second line, past the second line, past the second line.
That was what? 1?
That wasn't even 1.
Start level 11.
Past the second line. You need to go past the second line in order for this to work. Past the line. Past. Go back. You have to go past that line. What line are you going past?
The far one.
Far one.
I think this is the hardest one yet.
Start level 1. Level 14.
I think a beat before you got there. Is this the right size gym for this? I'm out of shape. Maybe we should do it side to side. See that far.
That was a fail.
So I better start working out, is what you're telling me.
You better start working out. You better start training. You better start running. If you can't get past level 1, we have some problems.
Doesn't seem very far, but those beeps are way too close together.
He's not in shape. He needs to do a lot of work. So we're going to try something different. I'm going to get my kit on.
Okay.
and we're gonna hit the street.
Because Doug failed his basic training, he will not be able to perform the duties of a peace officer and will only be allowed to shadow Melissa during her shift.
I am nervous. There's a lot of people. You don't know what they're doing. They're out in the middle of the night, and some of them look dodgy.
So this is Marlborough Station. It's one of our busier stations in the system. We have a lot of different types of calls here. Usually night shifts, we have unwanted patron occurrences, we have assaults, we have drug calls. Unfortunately, our cameras are down and we just have to deal with what we have. So we're not being watched by dispatch right now.
You fear the unexpected, and I certainly wouldn't want to be doing this alone. And then we heard that the cameras weren't working. That just heightens the level of fear a little bit more, that nobody else is watching.
Or getting more people.
Coming up.
You are... Give me my ticket back. You have the problem.
I was just notified by dispatch that we have a subject. He has threatened that he's going to go and get a gun and shoot people.
Director Doug Morgan is about to embark on the most dangerous shift across all of Calgary Transit. Peace officers respond to over 20,000 calls per year, and there have been over 60 assaults since 2010.
Usually night shifts, we have unwanted patron occurrences, we have assaults, we have drug calls.
Since Doug failed his basic training earlier,
That was a fail.
he cannot perform the duties of a peace officer and must only shadow Melissa on the night shift.
Unfortunately, our cameras are down, so if we do get into an incident, we're not being watched by dispatch right now. That is the issue that we have.
You fear the unexpected, and I certainly wouldn't want to be doing this alone. And then we heard that the cameras weren't working.
Our security cameras are critical to the safety of our customers. We just replaced the security system and we still have glitches from time to time. It's important to have a good response strategy in order to make sure those cameras come back online as soon as possible.
I'll just need you to do one thing. Keep your hands out of your pockets in case something does happen. Because if there's a situation where someone's going to attack you or come at you and your hands are in your pockets, how are you going to defend yourself? If someone doesn't have their fare, what we usually do is pull them off the train at the next station and obviously have a chat with them, figure out why, and go from there. Good evening. Can you please have your tickets passes ready? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. You forgot to validate your ticket. I am 51 times 1 at Barlow on the platform. Unfortunately, it is a $250 fine specified by the courts. Now, if you said you need to get to McKnight? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to allow you to get back onto the next train. Good evening, transit peace officers. Please have your tickets passes ready. Good evening. Please have your tickets passes ready. Good evening. Can you have your tickets passes ready, please? Thank you. Thank you. So, what does that sign say right there? It says, keep your feet off the seat. That is an offense. You're going to wipe the seat, or you're going to get a $250 fine.
I saw her interact with them so effectively and so, not aggressively, but assertively.
So not only is your ticket expired, but you had your feet on the seat. So you're looking at about $500 for the fines today. So I'm going to give you an option, wipe the seat off, and I won't give you a ticket for that. So do it now. I am 51 times 1 on board car number 2053.
How long have you worked as a peace officer?
I've worked with Calgary Transit for 3 years.
Okay.
Before this, I was a corrections officer for 4 years.
So what's next after this?
I've always wanted to be a police officer, hoping one day to be on with Calgary Police Service. My grandfather was a police officer, always looked up to him. So it's about midnight, so it's getting to that time of the night where we might be getting some interesting calls, or getting more people passed out on the trains. Hello. How are you today?
Not well, I'm waiting for the train.
Okay, well, you can't be lying on the bench. I need you to sit up.
Running into the homeless person, the intensity just jumps up a bunch of levels. It unnerves you about what's going to happen next and where this guy's going to go.
Do you have your fare for the train?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it.
You're going bothering somebody else. Who are you? Are you some kind of... What are you?
I'm a transit peace
Well,
officer.
then peace off somewhere else.
I have the authority to deal with you right now.
Here's the transfer. Now, what problem you got now?
Because of your attitude, you're not taking the train to get there.
You are... Give me my ticket back.
This is my
I'm
lawful.
not feeling very well. I'm trying to get down to the drop-in center because I'm very sick.
Okay.
And you gotta bother me because I'm lying on the bench. Now, I have a ticket, and you say I got a problem? You have the problem.
Have a nice day, sir.
Yeah, how can I do that?
Yeah.
You just weren't sure the next time you come to the station if he's going to be back in here. And it looks like he has nothing to lose. Yeah, he's still yelling. I can hear him.
I can hear him as well.
So you must take a lot of abuse.
It's part of our job, and unfortunately, I get called every name in the book that there is. I don't let it bother me.
Yeah.
And for me, since you never know who you're going to be in contact with, I wear safety glasses as well as soon as I'm dealing with someone, because you don't know if anyone has any diseases or anything, if they're going to be spitting in your face.
Does that happen?
Weapons.
Are they spit at you?
Yes, I have been in a incident where I was dealing with a subject.
Yeah.
He was sleeping on a train, so
Yeah.
my partner and I were dealing with him, escorted him off the train, and then just he turned his head and he spit in my face, and
Brutal.
it was blood.
Oh, no.
So we escorted him to the hospital.
Yeah.
He consented to a blood screen.
Lucky.
He did have HIV,
You're kidding
and
me.
he did have Hep C. Luckily for me, I have been tested several times.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go. It's just like I said, one of the things that us as peace officers have to deal with. So I was just notified by dispatch that we have a subject who is mad, yelling, screaming. He has threatened that he's gonna go and get a gun and shoot people. Okay. So we got this call. Calgary Police Service is going to respond.
The hair on the back of my neck is sticking up. You hear gun, you instantly hear trouble.
I may be a little bit nervous attending the call, but for us, we have to deal with these situations. So right now, it looks like they're holding the buses to make sure that the subject's not on the bus. 285-100, I'm sorry. Do we have a description of the subject at Marlborough?
Is the one that was threatened by this guy.
I'm not too sure.
Without a full description, the suspect has managed to escape.
Thanks, sorry. Sometimes we'll show up to a call and we won't know all the information.
Yeah.
So it basically goes from one person to the next person to the next person to us. I believe that future we need dispatch that are maybe a little bit more trained.
That's probably the biggest priority for me. Giving them the proper information so they know what's going on and making sure that operations center works the best for them and they can rely on it. I'm tired.
Yeah. You have a lot of learning to do.
I do.
And a lot of training to do if you plan on applying with Calgary Transit as a peace
I'm
officer.
impressed with Melissa. Never once did I see any shake in confidence. She knows what she's doing, and she's serving the customers well. All right?
Well, have a good one.
Yeah, you too. See ya. Security is our #1 issue. I think the first thing is making sure the processes to support these guys as far as the dispatch area, giving them the proper information so they know what's going on. That's probably the biggest priority for me.
Coming up, Laurie, Merle, Joey, and Melissa are called to the civic office, and Doug finally has a chance to come clean.
You made me cry.
Doug Morgan's work week on the front lines is over. But before he meets with the staff he worked with this week, he has to deliver some important news to his management team.
Thanks for coming in. I don't know if you're aware, the mayor requested that I go undercover. So over the past week, I've actually been working undercover at Calgary Transit with frontline staff. I've learned a lot about our organization. Perhaps there's some places where we have some manpower issues and we need to hire some more staff to keep up with the service levels. The design that we use for some of our LRT stations was a challenge, wondering if there's some tweaks we can do on future designs to make it easier for staff. This experience has been invaluable to me, and I think going forward we'll be a better organization for it. So, lots of work to do, and let's get to it.
Laurie, Merle, Joey, and Melissa have been called to the director's office. They're expecting to evaluate the trainee they worked with this week. But they're on the wrong track.
You know who I am?
No.
God, how do I say this?
I'm Doug Morgan. I'm the director of Calgary Transit.
Oh, gee. See, you pulled me here.
You were mean to me.
I was not mean.
I'm horribly out of shape. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll be honest, I hadn't been out with officers before.
Okay.
A whole new level of respect of what you deal with and how you handle people.
Well, thank you. I mean, I love my job, and it's something that I look forward to every day.
I know how important it is for you to get the right information when you're out in the field. I think it's a critical issue for me, and we are working on a redesign of the entire Operations Control Center.
I really appreciate that. We need this for our department.
We know you aspire to be a police officer, and we'd like to support some of that development. With the help of a generous sponsor, we've arranged a special trip for you to spend a day with the toughest cops in North America, the cops of the New York subway.
That'd be amazing.
And after you had the tough day at work, we want you to make a bit of a vacation out of it and have some time for yourself, have some dinner, maybe take in some of the nightlife in New York City.
Thank you so much. Never been to New York. Never really been anywhere, so this is, and to, shadow them, that's going to be quite the experience. Never really had anyone, tell me that they appreciate me because of what I do for the company. It's amazing.
So you put me through the paces trying to get those lug nuts off those tires. That was tough work.
It is.
And I learned lots. Like I got to feel what it was like to work in the tire shop. And I think you're shorthanded at the moment. So I think I got to help you out there.
Sure.
So we're going to look at even a limited term person to come in and help you in the tire shop.
Oh, thank you very much.
And probably the biggest thing, I learned a little bit about Joey.
Yeah, there you go.
What you've built here in Canada is a very strong family. And I know your boy is taking some pretty extensive classes at university.
Yeah.
And I think you work hard every day, I saw it.
I am.
And we'd like to help you out with his education and provide $5,000 from our sponsors.
Oh, thank you. That would really help me and my son.
You should be proud about what you've done.
I am proud, yeah. I can even say a word how to thank him.
Thanks a lot, Joey.
Oh, no problem.
It was great to meet you.
Thank you. At least someone would recognize the job that we do.
It's a tough job. You never stopped. You always had a job for us to do. And even with the slow guy, you were keeping up. Clearly, there are some issues we need to address, the first being water. I can commit to you today that I'm going to fix that right away so that you have water.
Thank you. Oh, that would be great.
Because it only takes carrying the buckets up and down the stairs about 10 times where you say, this is not a good design.
Yeah.
I think you should be proud of how much you contribute to the success of Calgary Transit. I'm really happy you're here.
Oh, thank you. It really means a lot. You know, a little recognition, it goes a long way.
You also shared some more personal information with me. You went through quite a few tough years with the loss of your daughter, Rochelle.
It was, the worst time in my life.
We have a sponsor on board that would like to make a donation to the Children's Hospital in the name of Rochelle for $2,000.
Oh, thank you.
So she'll never be forgotten.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my gosh.
I want to do something for you. We'd like to rent you a cabin for you and your family to spend some time together out by the ocean on PEI, just to recognize how hard you work there every night.
Oh, wow, PEI, I've never been there. I see lots of pictures. It's beautiful there. It makes me feel it's all worth it. I mean, very rare you get a pat in the back. Somebody noticed.
I have wild dreams about really disgusting buses.
Dirty
Thank
buses.
you for that.
Anytime, anytime.
So I learned lots from working alongside you. Well, one of the big things that I really felt this time was the air quality in the service lane. I know it's a challenge. I think what we're going to do is we're going to up the monitoring of the air quality in there to try to help you and your coworkers out.
That's fantastic.
I gotta say, it was just fun to get to know you, the saving of the animals. We have some sponsors together that would love to send you on a trip and have you explore the largest bat colony in North America in Texas and talk to some of the people that manage it.
Oh, God, that's so awesome. Sweet. That is so amazing. That is so cool. Okay.
The other thing I know you're really interested in, I know you dream about being a mechanic like your father and grandfather. So thanks to a sponsor, we'll be able to provide you $2,000 worth of training money to use at the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology to take some mechanics courses.
You're in real danger of getting a hug right across the table. That's incredible. Thank you. It feels really nice to be acknowledged. I can't believe this just happened. I really can't. Oh, so
We'll have
excited.
some fun.
I'm so excited. We had fun.
It was a great experience for me to hear firsthand from employees and to experience what it's like. I think I know a lot more about the organization, the people that work there. I think I could do a better job as director now.
Thank you.
And use this not as the last step, but the first step. I want to make sure the people that I met realize that we can change and we can make it better.